Oil prices edged up on Tuesday after Saudi Arabia warned that OPEC could cut output to correct a recent drop in oil futures. WTI is trading at $90 a barrel and Brent at $96 a barrel. But the benchmarks are down around 10% so far this month. The remarks from Saudi Arabia come only a week after state-owned group Saudi Aramco hit a profit record as soaring energy prices driven by the war in Ukraine delivered windfalls to oil producers. Meanwhile, Europe faces fresh disruption to energy supplies due to a damage to a pipeline system bringing oil from Kazakhstan through Russia, adding to concerns over a plunge in gas supplies. For more on this, now let's go to David Madden, who is Equiti Capital Market Analyst in London. David, many thanks for being with us today. So first of all, that's interesting because, David, a week after Saudi Aramco announced its own record for quarterly profits, now the country is already talking about some production cuts. Is that a sign that Saudi, and possibly not only Saudi at this point, really expects a very painful recession for the rest of the year?
I think they do predict that demand will drop off, but I think the recession that they're trying to perhaps act in advance of, they might actually bring about even faster. Most countries are on the energy front are importers of oil. When oil is at fairly elevated levels, that really puts pressure on those countries in terms of higher prices, inflation rising, higher interest rates. This is part of the reason why global economies are cooling off. And if you have the price of oil at too high for too long, that eventually chips away at demand. The economists refer to it as demand destruction. So the timing is certainly odd, where, as you mentioned, only in the last couple of weeks, Saudi Aramco said it does have the capability to ramp up production even more should the Saudi Arabian government give them the instruction. And now yesterday, Saudi Arabia turned around and said that OPEC might look to actually cut production as a way of stabilizing the price, which I feel would actually be a short-term gain and a long-term loss. Short-term gain that would boost oil prices, which you've seen them rally since that statement was made. But as I mentioned a moment ago, if oil stays at fairly high levels for a prolonged period of time, that will eventually lead to demand destruction and in turn actually lead to lower prices in the kind of medium and longer term.
Interesting, David. And something else that's really caught our attention recently, we've seen a lot of US oil pouring into Asia, with South Korea now, India, China buying a lot more US oil than they were in the past. And obviously that's adding to competition with Middle Eastern producers. And also that's adding another dimension to an already very complex situation with oil and energy markets. What impact is this going to have?
I think this is going to make the oil market much more competitive, and therefore Middle Eastern producers who probably were used to having, say, the lion's share of the market or quite a comfortable run within that area, it'll make them a bit more nervous, and in turn they'll be less likely to actually ramp up production and bring down prices. Tying in with the commentary from Saudi Arabia yesterday, how OPEC are actually considering cutting production as a way of upping price and stabilizing the price. So I think some people in some oil producing nations in the Middle East might think it's a bit rich from the United States to turn around and become essentially enter into their market in terms of selling oil to South Korea and the likes and India, while at the same time people like President Biden and others in the US administration are often calling for lower oil prices, which essentially means getting the Middle Eastern producers to raise their output. So if the United States wants to actually bring down the price of oil to take off the pressure on its own economy, they would probably be better off actually kind of trading a bit less with countries in Asia and actually and in turn keeping the Middle Eastern producers on side.
Interesting. David Madden, many thanks for this update.